Well, welcome back to Helsingborg, Sweden, the IPF 2019 World Classic Powerlifting Championships. We are on Wednesday morning here. We are just about to kick off with the 57 kilo women opens, and I'll tell you what, there are some absolutely incredible lifters in this field. I'm back here with Ryan, Six-Pack Lapadap, and we are going to take you through all the action today. What's your prognosis?
If you're looking at the nominations, if you've been paying attention on social media, Canada's Maria T, heavily hyped to possibly be Canada's first open world champion in the women's division. However, Megan Scanlon has been absolutely lighting the world on fire with what she's been putting up in training. Her openers alone on the prognosis, very high, and we're going to see some world records fall, no doubt. It's a showdown of epic proportions, but there can only be one.
Yeah, and let's not forget, I mean, this is a tough field. You know, the 57 women's here, we have got some lifters in here that have, you know, the potential to just sneak in behind there, play their cards right. If you're not going to be paying attention, that's what's going to happen. You've also got, you know, one of the greatest 57 lifters on the planet to watch. Ina Filimonova will be lifting today. Fantastic to watch as well. It is going to be an absolutely stunning session here, and it'll be out of control. We're lucky enough to have front row seats here. So first off the bat, in about 10 seconds time, Jessica de Sauve from Belgium will be opening at 105. And we've got some big squat numbers on the board there. You know, the top lift nominated lift, 140 kilograms for an opening squat.
Yeah, there's some huge squats in there. Obviously, Butters from Great Britain. Yeah. There are contenders, like you would
we've got a 175 nominated. I mean, these are huge. Current world record's 174 and a half.
Well, Megan Scanlon is going to open with a world record.
On a world record. But right now, Jessica de Sousa from Belgium, 105 kilograms. Good depth, but it was a bit on the slow side. That was pretty tough through that sticking point.
Yeah, it was a little more work than you might expect, but sometimes, I mean, it's early. Nervous system's just getting started.
Yeah, it's just shy of a personal best of 110, so we'll see what happens. Irene Stabile from Spain, 107.5. And we'll run two groups through this one here, so we'll get through the first group, roll straight into the second group. So she's opening on a personal best, but she's 24 years of age, only been competing 1 year.
The gains are always quick in the early goings when you're training. See that belt flapping over to the side. She's got to be careful if that starts nudging her side or elbow, if they think it's assisting in any way.
Yeah, it can certainly look like that. Bayatseg from Mongolia, 120 kilograms.
29 years old, competing 3 years, job athlete.
Well, it's certainly a good gig if you can get it.
This being 20 kilo below her personal best, I would assume this is going to fly. Mongolia is not a short trip.
Depth is good. Head up, chest up, smooth all the way through. That's a good opening lift, that one.
Nicely done.
That is what you want to see from an opening lift. Gets it on the board, pressure's off now. And Laura Savalainen from Sweden now, 120.
And whenever a Swedish lifter hits the platform, the crowd.
Yeah, there's certainly always some noise right behind us here.
Yep.
It's that big breath in. Smooth all the way through.
Now that's exactly what I'd like to see an opener look like.
Never looked in doubt.
Get on the board. Start the momentum going, but you don't need to overly tax yourself. Certainly nothing that you're planning on putting towards your total. So you don't need it to be high.
Hanna Kokkonen from Finland, 125. A good 10 kilos under her personal best. And just hear the coach in the background calling out some last instructions, some cues.
Yeah, sometimes that helps. Yeah, it's a little bit of work, but I think it should be good. Sometimes it helps also for easing the nerves, hearing your coach on the sidelines, hearing his voice, walking you through it.
Yep, just another day in the training room.
Exactly.
Gotcha, Bobbie from Slovenia, 125. It's a good conservative opening lift. Personal best of 142.5.
Not only just for, staying relatively conservative, taxing the nervous system, but even the type of intensity and adrenaline you want to expend in an opener, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you don't plan on that ever going towards your total. And look at that, nicely done. Bar path was bang on, up and down.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a good solid torso. Bar path moves straight up and down.
That's it. Take a look at that preview.
I mean, as that gets heavier, the one thing, you've got to be careful with there is the position of the torso and the head as it gets heavier. But she's got a solid midsection there. Loriana Acosta from Costa Rica, 125.
Looks pretty good as well.
Yeah, nice and smooth all the way through. Gets one red light there on depth from the head referee. I mean, our view here on the cameras from the side, we're in the front. Always hard to tell. Referees have the absolute best vantage point. Chloe Jade Macleod from Ireland, 127.5. And the Irish with a very big team.
Yeah, they've been well represented at these World Championships.
Picking up plenty of medals. Was quick. Was she deep enough?
I think so.
And gets two on the 2 whites. That's good enough to go on the board.
And so far, and I hate to jinx us, everybody's been right on point with their openers. Everybody's getting on the board.
Yep, all good numbers so far. Avita Talahatu from the Netherlands, 140.
No crazy grinders are taking place.
So far, so good. She looks extremely happy for someone coming out to do a first squat of the day.
Sometimes you just got to embrace the moment and be like, well, I'm here, IPF Worlds, on the Olympic channel, biggest stage for our sport.
You could hear Piotr on the sideline there yelling, knees out, knees out.
Yeah.
And, it really helped. She was starting to drop in there, but she heard that cue.
It's good advice, no question. Depth was definitely
well on point.
Yeah.
Edie Saavedra from Mexico, 140. So opening on her personal best.
Oh, she handled that well.
And she certainly made some progress since that personal best was set.
I would be opening on my personal best at the world level when I've already been competing 6 years like she has. Be a little nervous just knowing, but obviously with how that moved, if she's been moving it like that in training.
Yeah, it's hard to tell how long ago they did their personal best. I mean, sometimes we've got some information on them.
That's true.
And if it was a year ago, you've had a year of training and different, that's 3 or 4 training cycles. So Jessica De Sousa for a second lift from Belgium, looking for 107.5. Yeah, and the 2.5. I mean, I think that's a smart increase. Her opening lift was the toughest one we've seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if this moves a little bit quicker, you can always take a 5-kilo jump from here, but.
And that is a tough grind. She gets it there.
I think the only way you can go is 2.5 kilo from
But
there.
that was tough, but she knows it too.
Yeah, not a whole lot of room to grow from there, and that might actually, if I'm honest, be the last squat she's going to register.
Yeah,
But
I don't think there's much room left there. Irene Stabile from Spain, 115.
$7.5 kilo jump for her. And a 10-kilo personal best if she could hit it already in the second attempts. Depth is there.
And just couldn't quite get there. And you could see her chest just leaned forward just a little. You see in the replay, her hips pop up, chest pops down, and you sort of get to that point there where it's just going to have to be all muscle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, once you're out of alignment, really hard to battle back and get it mid-attempt.
Bayatasieg from Mongolia, 130 kilograms.
10-kilo jump, but still playing 10 kilo below her previous personal best.
Her opening lift was good. And that was a bit of work.
Rocked back on her heels for a second there and almost teetered near the top. You might see it on the replay.
So she gets the 2-1, so she's on the board with that one, but it was tough.
I don't know if you're going to
gets
see
a bit out of balance there.
The toe, it's the other side of the feet.
Yeah, just gets a little bit off balance. Hanna Kokkonen from Finland, 130. So some of these young ladies just starting to push themselves just a little bit. So this is just 5 kilos under her personal best.
Oh, holy, that's
she got it there.
Great show of heart, but untidy.
What did the referee say? Yeah, I thought it was going to be some red lights there. We saw some double movement in the bar. Didn't quite get deep enough. So Laura Savalainen from Sweden now, 130.
Took a 10-kilo jump right into her personal best.
Yeah, she looks pretty focused for this one.
When it's 10 kilo, you feel the difference as soon as you unrack it.
Nope. Yeah, just a little bit tough there. So let's see what we can see on the replay. Just not sure if she really got that power out of the bottom there. It's quite different than the first squat. You know, she got reasonable power, just really needed to pop that chest up and chase it through.
It was an ambitious jump pretty early in the competition.
Kacha Babis, Slovenia.
And already, just in the second attempts, we've had 3 failures out of 5. These young ladies are pushing each other.
When you get them on the board for the first time, that's when you've got a bit of a free shot to start to push. But the more you can get on there, the better.
There you go.
It was smooth all the way through. Let's see what the referees say. She gets that one red light for depth again.
That was a good second attempt. It's more work than the opener, but not at the limit just yet. You got one more squat to go, and you hate to grind out 2 squats back to back this early in the competition.
Chloe Jade Macleod, Ireland.
5 kilo jump, half a kilo away from her personal best, which we can only assume is an Irish national squat record.
Big breath in. Depth looks good from here. And it looks pretty good. It is. It goes on the board. She's happy with that one. And don't forget, tomorrow, if you're in Sweden, opportunity, 13th of June, get online to the Rica website and see if you can book yourself a tour of their factory. It'd certainly be something fantastic to see. Loriana Acosta from Costa Rica, 132.5.
5 kilo jump, 2.5 kilos still below her personal best.
That was a good second lift there. Had to put some work in, but not over the top. And she gets it on the board.
And the ship has been righted. We're right back on track and haven't had another missed attempt in quite some time again.
Avita Tahahatu from the Netherlands. Piotr himself in the corner.
All the lifting cues being shouted at her from the sideline. You're not going to forget them.
And that's the time you need them. When you get into a little bit of trouble there, it starts getting tough. Those cues really make a difference. All of a sudden, you know, you're reminded, push my knees out, lift my head up, lift my chest up. You forget those things when you get into trouble. Having someone there giving you that reminder really makes a difference. So 147.5 now for Edie Saavedra from Mexico.
7.5 kilo jump from her opener and 7.5 kilo personal best. She can hit it. It was work.
Looks like it's a good lift. It is. Goes on the board.
I'd say a little bit smaller jump for the thirds. 2.5 to 5 kilo.
I wouldn't be moving too far there. That was a bit of work on that one. Jessica de Sousa from Belgium, 110 kilograms.
She's all smiles. You know, some lifters approach this just embracing the moment and doing your best, getting your lifts on the board. And other lifters, you know, they approach the bar and you can see it on their face. It's nerve-wracking for them.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has their own different approach.
Whoa!
Wow, she's putting the fight there.
Big fight right through the sticking point.
What a battle, and it pays off.
That's
what a battle.
That is the perfectly placed third attempt. She had not half a kilo more, and they got everything out of their lifter.
That looked better than her second one. Irene Stabile from Spain now. Missed this on a second. And you can see her hips pop up and chest drops forward. Great finishing expression on the face. Says, "Oh well, not happening today."
You really got to leave it on the platform because there's 2 more events, and you can't.
You can't get caught up in a missed lift.
Nothing you can do about it now.
And time to shrug it off and move on. Hanna Kokkonen from Finland, 130. So she missed this on her second as well. It's just below her personal best of 135.
She's hit it previously. Can she hit it again?
And got to push those knees out. She gets it to the top. That looked better than her second attempt.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And it is. She gets it on the board. So Laura Savalainen from Sweden, 130 as well. She missed this on her second. She needs to put it all together. Just needs to put all the little things together.
She definitely looks more inspired for this one. And a little bit of motivation, a little bit more adrenaline. Sometimes is all you need. Proof in the pudding.
Looks a lot stronger there. Gets the timing right on that one, but not deep enough. Just didn't quite get down there. And you can see she's just, she had the strength there. She just pulled up a little bit shy. So we go to 135 by Zetseg from Mongolia. So still below her personal best, so it should be well within reason. And the referees say not deep enough. Just a little bit on the high side there. You could see that angle doesn't show up, but the right-hand side, left-hand side was a fair bit higher.
Yeah, sometimes the hips don't exactly rest symmetrically. And one can pass, and the other side you don't.
Katja Babis from Slovenia, 135 kilograms for her third lift. And it's smooth.
Very smooth.
That looks like a good lift. It is on the board. She's pretty happy with that one.
3 white lights, and yeah, that was very smooth. It looks like she's got a little energy left in the tank after that. It slowed, but never totally came to a pause.
Chloe Jade Macleod from Ireland now, 137.5. This will be a nice personal best for her. It's a 5 kilo kick though. This will be a tough lift, this one. Still comfortable in a walkout though.
It'll be the biggest squat of her life thus far.
And she's going to grind it through. She put the fight in. And it pays off. She gets it on the board. So we stay at 137.5 for Loriana Acosta from Costa Rica.
Again, I think the attempt selection was right on the money in terms of the last lift. Not a kilo more would have been in the tank, and they got the most out of their lifter.
And she's working it, but just a bit too much there. She gave it a good fight, but today was not the day. So 147.5, Avita Talahatu from the Netherlands. Yeah, 2.5 kilos. I think that's about all that's in the tank. That second lift was tough.
I mean, as we'd seen previously, though, Swedish lifter missed, came back a little more fired up, and you can
it
hit.
can make a difference. Sinks it in deep, and she's going to put in the fight, but just not quite there.
For a
For
second.
a second, I thought she was going to push it through, but she shook it off. And I think she made probably a mature decision there. I mean, she probably could have fought for a little bit longer with no result, and it's a lot of energy used for no gain. So Edie Saavedra from Mexico, 152.5. These numbers are getting huge.
That looks good.
And gets it there. It looks good. It is. She'll be very happy with that. Yeah, and this is a big field today. You know, we've got a lot of lifters in this field. If you can find your way to scratch into the top 50% of that, that's an amazing finish in the world.
This is the strongest 57-kilo field we've ever seen, opening with a world record. It's mind-boggling.
And here's Edie Stabile from Great Britain. Looking for 132.5.
And it looks like both Canada and Great Britain have a great 1-2 punch in the second flight, collecting valuable team points.
Depth is good. It was fast. I like fast.
Yep, that looked like a really bang-on good attempt selection by the Brits.
Didn't hang around down the bottom too long. Got it out really quick. Teresa Young now from Canada, 147.5.
$5 kilo below her personal best, but her personal best is probably going to get shattered today. Let's see how she handles this.
Yeah, it's just 28 years of age and 3 years competition experience.
And the bow in her hair has become kind of her trademark.
Yeah, I considered putting a bow in my hair this morning.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Well.
I'm glad you opted against it, but
sinks in deep, very smooth. Great opening lift, great choice of numbers there.
Yeah, she's definitely got room to grow from there.
So we stay at 147.5. Vanessa Alvarez from Brazil.
And I believe Vanessa's been doing some coaching and helping out with the Brazilian team. They're real tight, very vocal if they're in the crowd. And they are known to be fighters when it comes to the attempts. If it turns into a grinder, they're usually good for it.
Well, this should be a fairly comfortable opening lift. Fair whack below her personal best. Depth looks good from here. The lift is smooth all the way through.
Absolutely.
And she puts it on the board. That's one in the bank. Kenya Monserrate from Ecuador now, looking for 150. No stranger to competition.
decade of experience behind her. But in all of her 10 years, she's probably thinking, I have never seen a field of 57s like this.
It is probably one of the toughest fields
Oh, yeah.
that I've actually seen. That looks like a good opener.
That was pretty fast and smooth.
Mariana McPeak from Ireland.
Opening,
155.
yeah, almost 20 kilo below her previous personal best, so I'm expecting this one to fly.
There's nothing builds your confidence more than an opening lift that feels easy.
Especially the squat, because it's the first lift of the whole competition. If you're grinding that out and it's the first lift, it could be a little rattling, and this is going to be a long day. Weights feel heavy today.
And you can see it drive those knees out, and the speed just rockets up. Goes on the board with 3 white lights. Ina Filomenova from Russia, 157.5, and this is a lady with a great history of lifting. World champion, record holder.
24 years competing, and some of these ladies are only 24, so.
Coached by her husband there. A great coach. And that is a great opening lift.
Yeah, it was no major ask. Gets herself on the board.
And you know, I mean, she's one of the athletes. I mean, if you look at the predicted totals, she doesn't look like she's ranking high enough to be a threat. But she's one that if I was in the top 3, I'd be just keeping my eye on her. She's got a monster deadlift on her, world record holder. You know, can probably find a way. You know, if the opportunity presents itself, she could sneak in. But she wants to. They want to be keeping an eye just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, problem with Filomenova, you got a name and a resume like that. It's hard to be overlooked.
Anything can happen.
Everyone's keeping an eye on you. You can't fly under the radar. But absolutely.
I was having a look at her her list of records this morning. I gave up reading. It was too long.
It's a grocery list.
Bobbie Butters, Great Britain.
And if you speak to some Brits about Bobbie, they're very high on her and her chances.
Yeah, she's another one that can really find a way into the top 2. And with an opening lift like this, you can see why they're talking about it. That was a very, very cruisy 160.
Pretty smooth, pretty easy, a lot left in the tank.
So Maria T, Canada, 165. Now you've tipped her as a possible next world champion.
You know, she's been hovering in the top 3 every time she approaches the Worlds. And people are thinking, could this be the year? However, with the emergence of Megan Scanlon,
it is 2019 her year. It's going to be tough. There are a lot of women in this field that are going to take the fight to them. And her and Maria Scanlon are not going to have it their own way. Depth looks good, smooth all the way through.
Nicely done.
And gets it on the board.
Yeah, that looks smooth, that looked easy.
Well, just because you can, we'll start with 175 for Megan Scanlon. Let's start off the morning with a world record.
It's just insane.
It is absolutely crazy. I mean, to start the morning with a world record is absolutely phenomenal.
Megan Scanlon, what she's doing in training has everybody fired up, all eyes on platform 1. Can she live up to the hype? The hype is big.
Well, we're about to find out. We've got 175 for a world record. Always a big call opening on a world record.
An open world record in one of the most competitive classes we have.
Depth looks good. Hips pop up a little bit. Oh, there's a bit of a stagger there. She's having to work for it. She gets it to the top. What do the referees say? It's a tough one. 3 red lights. She's going to be disappointed with that.
And that definitely looked like a big ask. Let's take a look.
You know,
Yeah, it was a little untidy. It looked from
we've
that
said
angle.
it a million times though. Opening on a world record is so much pressure. Doesn't matter how many times you've hit more than that in the gym. Opening on a world record, always a big risk.
And they're gonna, because it's a record, they're scrutinizing. You want to walk in here, here's an opener, I'm just gonna hit it. You're not overly scrutinizing an opener. If they're uncertain, they'll give it to you. If it's a world record, well, let me lean in a little closer.
Well, has she just opened the door for the Canadian?
It certainly doesn't help to miss your opener.
Well, Edie Stabile, Great Britain, looking for a second. And gets that one back to the top.
Another thing that you have to take into consideration, she just didn't miss on depth, but it moved well. That was a fight.
Yeah, it was an absolute battle. I mean, she didn't, it wasn't just a missed lift. It was an absolute fight. It was heavy. It was slow.
She didn't look
You know,
confident.
she got out of position. She didn't look confident. And, you know, she's got to come out and do that again. And the pressure is increasing every time now. Vanessa Alvarez from Brazil, 155.
That's slower, but it never stopped.
And not deep enough. You know, she went down there. I thought for a second maybe she's not deep enough.
Oh,
but just
yeah,
couldn't quite get there.
From that angle, it does look a stitch high.
Kenya Monserrate from Ecuador, looking for 157.5.
$7.5 kilo jump, 2.5 kilo below her personal best.
Yeah, I mean, the way her opening lift moved, I mean, I probably would have gone 7.5 kilos. I think, you know, the 5 is like, yeah, there's more in the tank. 10 maybe too much.
Yeah, no, I think it's appropriate. And there, yeah, that was.
Yeah, and I'd even consider a 7.5 for the third as well.
I think I'd agree.
I mean, she's going to have to put in a little bit of a fight for it, but I think it's there. 3's a young Canada, 157.5.
10 kilo jump for her, but the opener moved nicely, and there's definitely plenty more in the tank. It will equal her personal best. She's hit this before, but the way she moved her opener, her old personal best is long behind her now.
Depth is solid on that one.
And
that's a good second.
Never a change in her facial expression, even when the bar slows, stays in the pocket, as they say.
That's a good second, that one.
Obviously a smaller jump for the third, but she's covered some ground.
Loriana McPeak from Ireland, 160. Irish have got a busy session.
Yeah. There is an Irish flag in the crowd and an Irish contingent that's cheering. It helps, especially we've seen time and again how the adrenaline and get more intense. You miss a lift, raise it a little, and it helps. So when the crowd's there behind you.
And it certainly does. I mean, it helps to have that support. It's that push to keep going. You know, I mean, if you're in the gym at home, you'd probably quit on it. But when you've got a crowd standing there cheering that wants you to get there, you're a little bit more inclined to push that little bit harder.
Absolutely. You think about quitting until you hear the crowd behind you and know who's watching.
Ina Filimonova from Russia, 167.5 for a personal best.
We thought 157.5 was breezy, but this is a 2.5 kilo jump. Or sorry, a 2.5 kilo personal best at 43 years old. Is she still making gains?
I'd put money on it.
Yeah, well, the way her opener moved,
Yeah,
it's not a crazy bet.
she's got a good coach in the corner. She's got the experience, and there it is. She puts the 167.5 up. It's on the board.
And it looks like Filimonova is on pace for one of her best days, and that's scary because her best days land titles.
Yeah, I mean, she's just one of those ones that you've got to watch out for. And you know, I mean, yeah, she's 43 years of age, but she's got 24 years of experience. The coach has got all that experience. They know how to manage the day and play the game.
Absolutely.
So 167.5 now.
Butters is all types of fired up for this one. This 7.5 kilo jump, 2.5 kilo personal best. And in a race this tight, every kilo matters.
She is bringing her A game today.
Depth looks good.
That is a very, very good second lift.
Wow.
With plenty of room to move.
Plenty more to go.
Plenty of room left in the tank there.
And Canada's Maria T looking to capitalize here, isn't she, Gary?
Well, this is her opportunity. She's just seen the American miss her opening lift, and she's thinking, well, you know, I've got an opportunity here. If I can get a couple of extra kilos here, where Scanlon was going to make 5 kilos or 7 kilos, isn't going to make that now.
Yeah, I mean, if she hits this, even if Megan hits her second attempt, now they're only 2.5 kilo apart, which previously with the openers, it would have been a bigger spread.
So this lift, usually your second lift, you're thinking there's not that much pressure. There's some pressure on this lift.
Oh, yeah. No, you can't
Without
afford
this
to miss.
lift, they're back to where they started. And she had to put in a little bit of a fight for it, but was never really in doubt. What do the referees say? I thought she might get a red from the front ref there.
It slowed, but it was consistent. There wasn't a straight pause.
Now, the question is, where do you go on your third now? Do you play it safe, or do you take a bit of a risk?
I would think 2.5 to 5 kilo, stay in the pocket, because Megan, judging by what I saw, is not taking big jumps,
well,
even if she gets.
We've got Megan Scanlon now, 175, second world record attempt here. Missed this on the first.
She has some major league horsepower behind her. The strength is there.
Well, she's lifted heavier than this before.
Yeah, she does float in between 2 weight classes.
Well, here we go.
Depth is good.
And it looks better.
Much
It was
better.
tough.
Much better.
I think it's going to be a good lift.
Yeah.
It is.
Much, much better. Rebounds nicely. Megan Scanlon. And the battle is back on, only this time it's neck and neck. Now, where does she go from here, Gary?
2.5 kilos, mate. That's it. Actually, you know what? I'd probably think about going 1 kilo to 176. Really?
Yeah,
I don't think there's much in there.
That's actually an option because
She's
it's a
got
record.
the option to do that.
Nicely said, yeah.
I don't think I'd be willing to put on the 2.5 after how tough that was.
By the way, Maria T's looking to take that record now with 175.5. Wow, back-to-back record attempts.
Ellie Steele, Great Britain, 145 for her third. And just couldn't quite pull that one off today. So we go 157.5 now for Vanessa Alvarez. She missed her 155. Now she's throwing an extra 2.5 on. And let's see if the gamble pays off.
She has hit 162.5. She's maybe thinking, look, I want to gain a little bit of ground. Some people don't like staying in the same place when it comes to attempts.
It's a tough call though. I mean, you say she's hit 162.5 before. Scanlon's hit 187.5 before, and that 175 was very touch and go.
And here's the variable. Both Megan and Maria, some of these personal bests are in a weight class up. They had a cut, and you're seeing
Makes
the
a big
effects of that
difference.
cut. Oh, yeah. Especially with traveling while cutting across the Atlantic. A little unsteady with the walk.
And just a little bit much there. Put in the gamble, she couldn't quite do it. Teresa Young from Canada now 160.
I think it's an appropriate next step. 157.5 was solid, but it was a little slow in work. 2.5 kilo, I think, will be right on the money, and it's a personal best.
Better off putting 2.5 kilo on the board than gambling it an extra 5 and not getting it. It's a lot of energy to not get it.
Exactly. And it puts her right on pace for a personal best day, and I think that's always the goal as well.
Well, we're about to find out. Can she put a personal best on the board of 160?
I think it looks like it's there.
Yeah, I think that's a good lift. It is.
Three
That's
white
a
lights.
good way to finish the squat session.
Yeah, and I think the attempt selection was right on the money. She might have a little more in the tank, but maybe not 2.5 kilo. And unfortunately, that's the smallest increment she could jump, unless it's a world record.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a gamble. You know, it's always a gamble, that extra step. I mean, you can put 2.5 on, you get it on the board, and that's 2.5 in your total. You can gamble the 5. Sure, if it pays off, you get the extra 5. But if you don't get it, you've wasted a lot of energy for nothing. And that was a great lift.
Yeah.
She looks happy with that.
3 whites, and I agree, Gary. The percentages go from the high end of 80% right down to a 50-50 proposition.
Yeah.
And with a race this tight, a historically deep
and we've seen, how
57
many
class.
times have we seen, world championships won or lost for a couple of kilos?
All the time, even on body weight.
That's right. So, Mariana McPeak now from Ireland, 162.5. And just a little bit too much there.
Spotters and loaders ever so quick in there.
They're on fire, aren't they?
Tons of good catches all throughout the worlds.
Ina Filimonova is looking for another personal best of 172.5. And if she wants this one, she's going to have to fight for it. The 167.5 moved well, but this one's going to push it to the limit.
Yeah, it was at a slowed pace, but it was consistent.
Yeah.
It never stopped. She never got jockeyed out of position.
She'll be fired up for this one. She's got, the great thing on her side is when it comes down to technique, she's got the experience to stay in that position and put the fight in. And you can see she's brought a little bit more fire to the platform on this one. And she's put the fight in. Was she deep enough?
I think it looked okay from my angle, but
Yes, she was. It goes to the board, 172.5, and a little bit of a fist pump and a smile there. She's happy with that one.
piecing together her day, 3 for 3 in squats.
You know what? She is just sort of hanging in the background there, doing what she does. Not getting caught up in it. Bobbie Butters, Great Britain, 172.5.
Britain's finest is taking the platform. Almost a woman possessed.
Yeah, she wants this one. It's a big, big personal best, and it's going to go a long way to keeping her in touch too.
Look, her projected total right now already is huge and going to blow past anything she's ever done. She has come ready for these worlds and will surprise you if you're not paying attention. Bobbie Butters.
Big breath in. Sinks it in deep.
Oh.
Yeah, that was never in doubt, was it?
Her confidence has to be building.
That was never in doubt. Maria T, 175.5 for a world record attempt. She's basically walked out the back, said, well, you know what, Scanlon, if you can do it, I can do it too.
That's right.
Give me a world record.
I tell you what, 172.5, it moved, so this is actually reasonable. It's actually a reasonable jump. Why not take the cookie? If you can get the extra chip on your total, at the end it forces other competitors to go up another 2.5.
It's only 3 kilos. I mean, the minimum was 2.5, so she had to go to 175 anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Good strategic move by Team Canada, and they probably always wanted to end up somewhere around here.
So 175.5 for a world record attempt. It is going to toe here.
Toe to toe. And if she hits it, Megan Scanlon's coming out, hoping to take it right back.
Here we go. Maria T from Canada, 175.5 to take the world record. And she's putting in the work, but she gets it to the top. It looked better than a second. The referees say not deep enough.
Just a stitch. It was right on the line.
Just there.
Let's take a look at this other shot.
And I thought Jeff might come to the jury. He is.
Yeah, it's worth a conversation, especially in such a close race.
Let's brush that off because right now, Megan Scanlon, 178.
Back-to-back world record attempts. Of course, Megan opened with a world record attempt. Every single attempt she's had in the squad event, she's had a world record weight on her back.
Let's see what happens here. Megan Scanlon, 178.
It will take a titanic effort.
She missed her opener at 175, got it on her second.
Her second attempt looked a lot better than her opener. She's probably rehydrating this whole time. It will get stronger and stronger as the competition goes. And that's a scary thought.
Well, here we go, 178. The second was tough.
Depth looks good.
Hips pop up. She's going to fight it.
It's a fight. Whoa!
She gets it to the top. What do the referees say about it, though?
It's
good.
A good
lift. She gets that on the board, and that's going to make a big difference.
Talk about a dramatic squad event. Living up to the hype.
That is going to make a huge difference come the end of this. Well, don't go too far away. 10 minutes time, we are going to be right back here to watch the action unfold on the bench press. Welcome back to Helsingborg, Sweden, the IPF 2019 World Classic Powerlifting Championships. I'm back here again with Ryan Six-Pack Lapadap. We're about to hit the bench press in the 57 kilo women, and boy, did that heat up in the squats.
Whew.
What a way to start. World record attempt, missed it, back to the wall, hits it again, and absolutely nails the third as well.
Leading into, I had said, Megan Scanlon and Maria T, and there's a deep field after that, were going to push themselves to historic proportions, though. Opening at a world record, almost unfathomable. Missing in terms of drama, coming back, hitting in a grinder, and then Maria T saying, let me take a stab at it, and Megan Scanlon besting that, and then not to mention Bobbie Butters.
Yeah, look, if
Wow.
they're not keeping an eye on her, she is going to sneak in behind there. She's going to play her game, do her thing. If they're not keeping an eye on it, she's going to come out of nowhere. You know, we've seen some great squats. We had a great squat clinic from Ina Filmanova.
Absolutely.
You know, it is going to be on fire. And there are, you know, there's a handful of women in this field that might be sitting midway down in the rankings, but they're all in there. They've got their own little special areas. If you're not watching the rest of that field and you're just focusing on what's ahead of you, they're going to sneak up behind and see an opportunity.
100%. Look at the Russians and the Brits are looking at Scanlon and T pushing themselves. They're pushing right to the limit and sometimes beyond, missing lifts. On the flip side, Butters, 3 for 3.
Yeah.
Filimanova, 3 for 3.
I mean, that's it. If they can sit in the background and just watch Scanlon and T push themselves over the edge, they're going to start missing a few lifts. All of a sudden, the door swings open, and in they come. And we are getting underway here. We're Beatrice from Mongolia looking for 50 kilos to open her bench press campaign. Well under her best lift. So this should be a good opening lift. Wearing the Alico soft suit there. Great products and great supporters of the IPF and powerlifting have done so much for it. They equip about 6 or 7 championships a year. Great opening lift there.
Yeah, I think that's right on the money. You just
Yeah.
want to get on the board.
And, you know, you've got to be that little bit more conservative on your bench. You've just done 3 squats. You know, you might hit 70 kilos in training every day of the week, but are you hitting 70 kilos in training after doing all your warm-ups for your squats, hitting your 3 squats, your maximum squats, not training squats, all the pressure of World Championship? You know, you might hit 70 in the gym a million times over. You come here, what should be an easy opening lift, all of a sudden it's a grinder.
We've seen that.
Jessica de Sousa from Belgium, 62.5. Has a national record on the books, 63. And puts that one on nicely. To the world record, 1:15, I believe.
Well, 115. Yeah, looking at the openers, Megan Scanlon with 110. That world record might also be in danger. I don't know how many world records Megan Scanlon wants to add to her resume.
Well,
But
she's bought a discount card with her, and she wants to get the package deal.
It is going to be an historic day today. We knew it was going to be a special one. We didn't know it was going to be quite this special with all the seesaw battling back and forth.
And that's a pretty old bench record, that one too, set back in 2014.
For powerlifting, that's very old. 5 years.
That stood for a while.
It might
Hanna
fall today.
Kokkonen from Finland wants 65.
And just looking, is that the oldest holding record in the Women's Open? In terms of all records, I
Yeah,
think
I
it is.
believe
There's
so.
nothing. Well, yeah, the oldest record we have might fall.
Well, she gets that one on the board. She gets one red light there. And we might be able to catch that in a replay. Yeah, it looks like it was probably for the butt lifting off the bench there. You can see the side referee getting right down and have a look there. Irene Stabile from Spain. Nice opening lift.
Yeah, so far so good in terms of the opening lifts.
Jade Macleod from Ireland looking for 70.
Now for Chloe Jade, this is 2.5 kilo below her personal best. And on the bench press, 2.5 kilo.
Yeah, look, it's just one of those lifts that you've just got to be extra careful with your predictions and your attempt selections. And made short work of that one.
Easy 3 white lights.
Clearly lots of progress in the last training block. Loriana Acosta from Costa Rica, 70 kilograms.
Going over the liftoff she would like, always a good idea. When you have a big setup, like some of these ladies do, you need all the bar position in place, because even a slight deviation can really throw you off.
I mean, if you look at the difference too, I mean, you look at the weight compared to body weight. If it's out of position in the lift off, it's a lot of energy for you to shift it to where you want it to start.
Mm-hmm. Yep, how you finish greatly depends on how you start.
And there it is, that's on the board. Does a little bit of a happy dance on the way off there. Maybe later on she'll get a coach to do the happy dance as well, we'll see. For Edie Saavedra from Mexico, wants 70 as well.
Also 2.5 kilo below her personal best.
It's that big, big breath. Drives it up. And a good opening lift. Gets it on the board. Gotcha, Bobbie from Slovenia, 72.5. And just saying where she wants the bar. Chest is up. That's a good opening lift.
Yep. No news is good news when it comes to openers. Everybody's getting on the board, and more to that, no one's really having any scares and big struggles. It looks like they all got room.
You want nice, smooth opening lifts. Give yourself room to move.
There is 2 more attempts if they want to cover ground.
Avita Alhatu from the Netherlands.
Nicely done.
And that's another one on the board. Laura Savalainen from Sweden, 95 kilograms. Had a really big workload on a second squat with no outcome, but nailed it on a third. You can see she's calmed herself down a little bit now. She's managing that energy.
Yeah, you don't want to try to run high for all 9 attempts. Very few people can manage that. The crowd is behind her. Two and a half kilo below her personal best.
Let's see how it rolls. And very, very well. Made plenty of gains in the last cycle. Liatseg from Mongolia, 60 kilograms for her second lift. That's a big jump, 10 kilos.
Especially on the bench press.
Yeah.
It is still 10 kilo below her personal best, but in the squats, she stayed below the personal best.
Yeah. I mean, 10 kilos is a very, very big jump on a bench press, particularly in this weight class.
Yeah, in any weight class. In this weight class, 57 kilo, it's a gigantic jump.
And it just proved to be a little bit too much today. Yeah, that's just such a big jump. 10 kilos.
It seemed ill-advised.
Even though it's below your personal best, I mean, 10 kilos is a really big step on a bench. Jessica de Sousa from Belgium, 65 kilograms. And went pretty well. She got a little bit off center there. But in general, that was a pretty good second lift. You see, she just started to sway to one side, lost a little bit of stability there.
Yeah, on the right.
Hanna Kokkonen from Finland, 70 kilograms.
5 kilo jump, but 5 kilo away from her personal best.
Yeah, I mean, 5 kilos is a fairly reasonable size jump in a bench press in any weight class, really. 7.5, you're sort of starting to push to the edge of maximum jump. 10 kilos, you know, in most weight classes, that's a very big jump to do.
You better be in a bigger weight class for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not unusual. We see it in the 120s, 120 pluses. And she hits that very smoothly. Ooh, she gets the 2 red lights there. We'll have a look at the replay and just see if we can pick it up. I'd say butt movement, I'd say. Yeah, it's hard to tell there. Haven't got the best angle for us on that one. But you see some of these setups are pushing that rule right to the edge. And they're just touching, and they're just on the rule. So any little bit of movement is going to be a violation. Irene Stabile from Spain, 72.5. And that should be a good lift, and it is.
3 white lights went up uneven, but able to lock it out.
Chloe Jade Macleod from Ireland, 75 kilograms.
5 kilo jump from her opener, 2.5 kilo jump in terms of from her previous personal best in uncharted territory, but She was in that position in the squats, handled herself well.
And gets right up on those shoulders.
It's a nail biter. The action is just too good.
And that's a tough one, but she's grounded to the top.
You gotta slow off the chest, but once it gained,
Oh, and she's got a couple of red lights there. Let's have a look. Yeah, you can see, even on the way down there, that butt was starting to lift. Just didn't really get solid in that bottom end there. Lost a lot of tightness. I mean, if she can tighten that all up and the butt doesn't move, she's going to actually hit that number even faster. Loriana Acosta from Costa Rica, 75 kilograms. The SBD wrist wraps. And that's just a little too heavy there. Right on her personal best, but just didn't seem to want to shift it.
Yeah, there is adjustments, obviously, like we said, in the bench press she could make, but when it barely leaves the chest.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look like there was a whole lot she could do to it to make it different.
Hard to say it was a bar pass situation when the bar wasn't on his path yet. However, if she lost a little tension, it feels like she could get a little tighter for the next one.
Edie Saavedra from Mexico, 75. This will be a 2.5 kilo personal best. That's a good second lift, that one.
And that was new personal best territory, moving like an appropriate second.
Yeah, no, that was a good second. A little bit of work, but not over the top. Katja Abis from Slovenia, 77.5, equal to her personal best. She had a good opening lift. And she gets that one on the board. She's happy with that. Over the moon with that one. Avita Talahatu from the Netherlands, 85 kilograms.
And it says as a job title, dolphin trainer. First time I've seen that.
If you can get a job as a dolphin trainer, that's the job you want.
2.5 kilos shy of her personal best, second attempts. Be interesting to see how she moves this.
Dolphin trainer by day, powerlifter by night. Oh, that's a good second, that one. That moved very well. There is plenty of room to move on that last one for her. Laura Savalainen from Sweden, 100 kilograms.
Into the triple digits, and despite being in flight 1, she does have a chance to end up on the podium if she hits this, and we see how she moves it for the bench press event.
Well, here we go, 100 kilograms, well over her personal best. And she sets up a very interesting way of setting up, and it's quite a long process. Oh, great lift there. Referee say 3 white lights. That's a good lift.
And she does have a shot to end up on the podium in the bench press event. The way she moved that, there's some room, not a lot of room, but there is room.
She's certainly going to give it a crack. Yeah, I think 2.5 kilos is fairly reasonable.
She opened up alongside the heavy hitters in the next flight.
She's right there. She's right in the mix. Bayatsiag from Mongolia, 60 kilograms. So well under her personal best. Missed it on a second. That 10-kilo jump, just way too much. She could hit it on this one. The nervous system's ready for it now. And that's the difference. You know, the 10-kilo jump, just too big a shock to the body.
Yeah.
And now she's felt it, hits it on a third. You know, she probably would have been better off for her confidence going 5 kilos and 5 kilos.
Especially when you unrack and it's so much heavier than your previous unrack.
10 kilos, you're going to notice it on a bench press.
Yeah.
Jessica de Sousa from Belgium, 67.5. And working it to the top, she gets it there. And she goes 3 from 3 on the bench. Not a bad way to start your morning. So Hanna Kokkonen from Finland now 70 kilos. Missed this on her second. So she's really got to focus on tightening those glutes, keeping everything down. That anterior pelvic tilt to force everything onto the bench.
She's hit 75 kilo. The strength is there. Just has to tighten up technically.
You know, there's so much to remember when you're out there on that bench.
Especially when under load, sometimes all the P's and Q's go out the window when you're fighting.
Well, the press looks good. I didn't see a lot of body movement or hip movement from this angle. And it is, she gets it on the board.
Good enough.
So Chloe Jade Macleod, 75 kilos, missed it on the second. Wants it on the third.
Well, we've seen 2 lifters miss their second, come back and hit it on the thirds. See if Chloe Jade can keep the momentum.
It's always nice to get a personal best on the board at the World Championships. Oh, she's driving it hard. She gets it to the top.
It looks good from there.
And she gets 2 red lights. She's going to be disappointed with that. I wonder if we'll see it on the replay. It's going to be hard to pick up, I think. It's on the other side. Yeah, it's a bit hard to tell. Could have been for foot movement. The red light came from the front ref and the other side. Irene Stabile from Spain, 75 kilograms. This is a big, big personal best. And it's just too much today.
It was ambitious.
Yeah, look, she got a 10-kilo personal best, 72.5, so it was a pretty ambitious lift. She took the minimum, and it just didn't pay off. Loriana Acosta from Costa Rica, 75. Getting up on those shoulders. She really gets up on those shoulders, doesn't she?
Driving the traps into the bench.
Man, it's just a little too heavy today.
The ladies are really pushing themselves.
Well, you know, and that's one of the great things when you get a field that's stacked like this, is everyone starts pushing early. When you get a field that's not stacked like this, you know, they play the game, they wait till their end, they hit their deadlifts, and they start to push. When it's like this, they're trying to get every kilo on the board as early as they can.
Nobody can coast when it's this tight.
So, Irene Saavedra from Mexico, 77.5. This will be a 5 kilo personal best. A nice way to finish her bench press. And she's going to have to fight it. She's still fighting and it just starts to dip.
Yeah, around the midway point, it not only paused, started returning back to the chest. The bar can only ever move in one direction. So once it started coming back down, that was all she wrote.
Yeah, she fought pretty hard on it. Katja Bobbie from Slovenia, looking for 80. It'll be a personal best. She just equaled her personal best on 77.5. And Scanlon has dropped her opening bench to 105 now.
Well, based off the squat opener,
Might
maybe
be feeling a little bit of fatigue as well.
you don't want that many fights in one day. You'll start gassing out.
Yeah, coaches have said, you know what? Took the risk on the deads. It nearly didn't pay off. On the squat, nearly didn't pay off.
Yeah, I think it's a good call.
And no lift, unfortunately. Avita Talahatu from the Netherlands now. The Dolphin trainer from the Netherlands, looking for 90 kilos and a personal best. She's hit her other two lifts really well. Is a 5 kilo jump too much for stretch from your second to your third?
You know, with the bench press, 5 kilo can feel like the whole world was added to the bar.
Yeah, they read it well though.
Even the whole world's not stopping her today. 3 for 3 and 3 white lights.
Nailed that one. Laura Savalainen from Sweden, 102.5.
Now, if she hits this, she's done her best work to do as much as she can to get herself on the bench press podium.
Yeah, I mean, she's looking like she's back in a groove now. She lost her groove a little bit with that second squat, but she's definitely back in the groove now.
The bench press is definitely her event, and if she's going to make a run for any medals, this is the one. You know the home crowd would love to see it.
There's a very long setup process.
Yeah,
Down to 20 seconds left on the clock.
I like how you say process. It is a bit of a process, but look at.
You know, look, it works for her.
Yeah, the
But
numbers.
if she gets a replacement call,
Look at that.
gets that one on the board, it should be a good lift. It
3
is.
white lights, and she might have just benched her way onto the podium.
She
We'll
might
have to
just
see.
put herself there. So we move straight into our second group now at 65 kilos for Vanessa Alvarez. So let's wait and see. She might have just found her way onto the podium.
It'd be nice for the home nation to walk away with a medal. You know they'd appreciate.
Well, we're loaded at 65. Vanessa Alvarez, Brazil. looks solid. Moved well. There's the 3 white lights.
In flight 1, nobody missed their openers. Let's see if the trend can continue in flight 2. I do not think it's going to start with Ina.
Ina Filimonova looking for 72.5. I would be very, very surprised if anything went wrong with this.
The consummate professional, 24 years in the game, world records, world titles, you name it, she's done it.
Yeah, and we're not talking a while ago. She got a gold medal at the European Classic this year in the Opens.
Reigning European champion at 43 years old, and she's keeping tight to the top 3. Missed a couple lifts, and she'll seize the opportunity.
And Brianna McPeak now, Ireland, 82.5. They competed, Ina Filimonova competed this year at the European Classic Cup in Oshmiany, Belarus. 150 kilometers from my home in Minsk.
Were you there, sir?
I was there the year before and didn't make it for this one, unfortunately. I just had too much on my plate. And I was extremely disappointed that I couldn't be there. It's a fantastic event. Brian McPeak, 82.5.
7.5 kilo below her personal best.
And waiting for the referee's lights there. It should be a good lift. It is. Kenya Monserrate from Ecuador. 87.5. $87.5 kilos, well off a personal best.
That moved very easily.
Yeah, that was a great opener.
Driving the traps into the bench, pushing down. There's Canadian coach Justin Reeson, and pushing down into the bench off the bar.
Yeah, she has that really wide foot position and back a long way.
Keeps herself stable. She's got to remember to keep her heels down.
Yeah, she's gonna have to push back a little bit more on that one. Gets it on the board. Maria T from Canada, 95.
Her opening squat moved very well. The attempt selection was on point.
Yeah, they have been on point, and she's really taking the fight to her here. If Scanlon wants that gold medal at World Championships, she is going to have to fight for it.
No question. We've seen the openers look like, wow, is this going to be a fight or is this going to be a walk away? And then the battle started, and yes, it's a fight. Very much so. They went back and forth right up until the end. And I expect the trend to continue in the bench press.
I think it's going to be toe-to-toe.
Wow, that moved
Well,
easy.
that was pretty fast. If you blink, you'll miss it.
95 kilo, no big ass from Maria T. And you see how the game planning and attempt selection thus far looks quite a bit different between Team Canada and Team USA in this showdown. It'll be interesting to see if the 5-kilo drop makes Megan Scanlon's opener move a little easier.
Yeah, we'll see where it comes.
A Bobbie Butters,
Yeah,
what
she
can you
was
say?
originally opening at 110, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bobbie Butters, and you know, she is just keeping herself close enough, having a great time, playing her game, and not getting caught up or trying too hard to chase anything, and just letting them push each other.
It's really what you want to do. I think it's expert game planning. Just do your first 3 and then 6 lifts, see where you're at in the deadlifts, and if you could pull yourself either ahead because people were missing or maintain the course. Look at that, 95
and
kilos
that one
smooth.
goes on the board.
No question about that one. Has not missed a single lift yet, and judging by that, is not even close.
Well, we sit back here and we talk about all these athletes and we talk about what's going on, but we have a bucket load of information right in front of us as well.
And the Brits opening with some big benches.
Ellie Steele.
Could be a bit of a medal haul in the bench press for the Brits.
97.5.
And that looked good too. Look, so far, everybody's opener's been solid. Up next.
105 for Megan Scanlon.
And this is one of the most interesting openers.
Yeah, I mean,
only because, historically speaking.
yeah, she dropped it. I'm happy to see that she dropped the 5 kilos to make it 105.
Very solid.
Make a big, big difference.
Crush this. She's already had 3 scrappy attempts. And we're just entering into the bench.
Yeah, we're just starting out.
You don't need 3 more scrappy attempts entering into the deadlifts. Even Megan Scanlon, who is uber talented, has a limit. That's an opener.
That's a good opener, and
That's
I think
a good
that
opener.
105 is a good choice.
That was the appropriate selection the Americans should make.
It's a confidence builder.
Yeah. Yeah, you want, as a lifter, you want some easy ones. You don't want every single attempt to be a life and death struggle.
Yeah, you know what? And there's different things we do as coaches too. I mean, there's one of the things I do with some of my athletes in the past. I actually have them train 2 weeks out from competition on gym bars and gym plates. So no olicos, no olico plates. Everything feels a bit heavier. You hit your first squat on the platform, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, that was easy. Confidence builder on the board, and you're ready for the rest of the competition.
Yep.
Vanessa Alvarez from Brazil, 70. This will be her second. Oh, it's a tough grind on that one, but she gets it there. And it's on the board. Nina Filomenova from Russia now, 77.5.
5-kilo jump, 5 kilo below her personal best.
She's got a great coach in the corner. Great guy as well. Yeah, 5 kilos. I mean, that's a decent jump.
Her opener was pretty steady, typical Filomenova style. It's never going to be speedy, but it's consistent bar speed.
Yeah, and we actually see sometimes, often with a lot of the Russian lifters, that it's steady, not necessarily fast. She's a bit crooked on that one, but she gets it there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's a good lift.
It's almost like, and maybe it is because she was used to lifting and geared, equipped.
Yeah, well, she does a lot of quick lifting and still does a lot of quick lifting as well. So, but she gets the job done. It goes on the board, and it didn't look relatively difficult. So, Verona McPeak now, Ireland, 87.5. 87.5. This is still below her personal best. And it's a grinder.
But she looks like she's got it. 3 white lights. Having seen that, obviously 2.5 kilo and no more. And that's going to be a big ask, isn't it,
That's
Gary?
pretty much the stretch. Teresa Young from Canada, 90 kilograms. Just saw Justin giving us some last-minute little instructions. It's well below her personal best. And that was a very smooth lift. She gets that chest right up, very tight through the system.
I would say another 5 kilo is likely in the tank.
She gets that one red light there, and that is from her heel, not sitting flat on the floor.
And
they're going to be watching that very closely on the next one.
That's the negotiation. When you want your feet that far back, it helps for stability and maintaining that arch, great base. However, the pressure
it's
pulls
hard
the
to keep
heels
those
up.
feet flat. Very hard to get any leg drive out of that position as well.
Yep.
Kenya Monterrate from Ecuador, 92.5.
Knee sleeves still on for the bench press. It's obviously not going to help the bench. It might actually hamper you with bending your knees in that position. However, maybe couldn't get them off in time for the bench press.
I think some of them actually leave them on because it's easier than putting them back on if they wear them on deadlift.
Yeah, if you do want them for deads.
So she gets that one on the board. Very neat, very clean. Maria T looking for 100.
Maria knows the game plan now. She knows that Scanlon is obviously got a lot of firepower. However, she doesn't always hit.
No. And I mean, the key for Maria T here is not to get caught up in this. I came in with this plan. This is my plan. You know, when an opportunity presents, I'll try and close the gap a little bit. But if she gets too caught up in this, Butters is just going to sneak in from behind and go, you know what? You guys have pushed yourselves so far.
Yeah.
You've kicked the door open. You haven't been watching.
Yeah, exactly. I think both Maria and Butters are on point in terms of their game plans. Five more kilo.
That's a nice one to add.
And she's not grinding and extending until the thirds, which is good. Conserving the energy for one battle. And then you're more likely to win that battle when it comes.
Bobbie Butters from Great Britain, 100 kilograms. She's bringing the fire. She's a very, very intense young lady.
She can feel the momentum swinging on to her side. Hasn't missed a lift yet and has been able to rise to the occasion each time. The Whiteleys.
She's getting her shoulders dug in, her feet dug in. Man, that looks like a good press.
A lot to drive behind that.
It is. Yeah, there's plenty of power in the tank on that one.
I'd say another 2.5 kilo and she could go 3 for 3.
Ellie Steele, Great Britain, 102.5. This will This will get her up into that top 10, well past that. Keep her up, putting some pressure on maybe the top 7. And if you can finish anywhere in the top half of this field, you are doing very, very well.
This is a 57 kilo class with some of the strongest 57 kilos we've ever seen.
It's tough. Megan Scanlon now for 110.
Speaking of.
You know, she's looking relaxed over in the corner. She's waiting for the bar loaded call, having a bit of a laugh with the coaches. She doesn't look like she's feeling the pressure.
Well, and that's the confidence you get when you absolutely smoke your opener like she did. That's why dropping that weight was important. Let's ease the tension a little bit. It was amped up in the squat event. Let's bring it down for a stitch in the bench. You got 3 attempts. They don't all have to be fights. Nice setup on the bench. Megan doesn't have very many technical errors in any of the lifts. Look at that.
And there it is.
Easy wins.
Now, is she going to go 115.5 for a third?
Look, judging off of 110, I think it's there. And I think the American coaching staff did the proper in terms of adjustment on the opener, giving
Is
her
it too big a risk though?
Well,
You got
I think 110 moved.
you got T nipping at your heels. You can put a 112.5 on, and it's pretty much a 90% hit on, guarantee.
Yeah, Gary, you make a good argument.
You go to the 115.5, all of a sudden,
How and then
are you just opening that door just a little bit more by taking that risk?
of course the other side of that would be they're only 5.5 kilo apart in the projected. Maria's opening with a decent size deadlift bigger. You want to close that gap, so it can swing either way.
Vanessa Alvarez 72.5. Well, they put in the 115.5, so we'll wait and see.
I think I'd take it.
And she gets that one on. Oh, she gets the 2 red lights there. Let's have a look. It looked good from here, and you can even see the Brazilians in the stands.
Yeah, they're exact same.
And
I can't see it myself.
very hard to tell from here. Couldn't see her head either. And I think the coach is going to come round to the jury panel and have a look.
And Filimonova, we both thought probably 2.5 kilo is best.
Well, 80 kilos.
It does come down crooked.
Yeah, I think she might be carrying a little bit of an injury on that right side. And she's managing it very well.
Not enough to stop her.
She gets that on the board. She's happy with that. Verona McPeak, 90 kilograms. The clock's counting down. I'm not sure where Verona McPeak is. I can see some movement out the back. I think she's coming now.
Well, with the
No,
set.
that's not her. So she might have decided to count this one down.
Yeah, because that's the Canadian team, and I think they are the next ones up.
So might have decided to count this one down. Saving a bit in the tank. Might have just twinged a little bit of a shoulder or something.
You know, and we said it before, if you don't think you're going to get it, emptying the tank for 2.5 kilo when you could add far more in the deadlift event just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to play your cards, especially, I mean, she's sitting on a predicted total of 415. She's in 5th position overall. I mean, she's in a position where she could, maybe push up to 4th position.
And she does have a good deadlift. So don't diminish your deadlift capabilities.
That's right.
For 2.5 kilo.
So we move straight in. It should be Teresa Young, I think. For 95.
And a 5 kilo jump for Teresa Young, and I think that was pretty
Just
much
waiting on the referees to click their lights so that goes through. Yep, so this will be just shy of her personal best. Teresa Young from Canada, 95.
Based off her second attempt, this is what I thought they'd load the bar with.
It'd be a nice way to finish the bench, 3 from 3. Oh, that's a good press.
Yeah, I think it's there. And
Yeah,
it is.
she gets the 2 to 1. It's on the board. So Kenya Monterrate from Ecuador. Looking for 97.5. Has been a nice little personal best.
$5-kilo jump, 2.5-kilo personal best, and bigger picture, more kilos towards her total.
And it's slow, but it goes all the way. Maria T, Canada, 102.5. And this extra couple of kilos are pretty important right now. These extra couple of kilos could make all the difference.
In a race like this, every kilo is going to count. Here's 2.5 more. Bridging the gap between her and Megan Scanlon and Maria is going to open up with a bigger deadlift, and we know how much ground you can cover in the deadlift event.
Yeah, if you've got someone that can open, that can take big jumps, I mean, it's great opening at 185. Can she add 15 kilos to a second? Can she add another 10? Because she's going to need it. She gets that one up.
Yep. I would say, 3 white lights, based off of the attempt selection we've seen from the Canadians so far, they haven't had Maria open heavy.
Yeah, you know what? And they haven't made her grind anything out. They're keeping that in the tank.
So based off of that, I would say, in answer to your question, yes, and that's got to be a little scary for Megan Scanlon.
They're doing a really good job. They're managing her energy levels, and they're saying, you know what, just keep pushing. We're going to save some in the tank. We're going to keep close enough, and then if you have to pull for a win, you've got the energy to pull for a win. You know, and it's always nice to have that little bit extra at the end for that last lift. So 105, Ellie Steele from Great Britain. And she gets that one on the board. Nicely done. Great way to finish her bench. She's pretty happy about that. But right now, Bobbie Butters, who is bringing the intensity to the platform at an incredible level, 105. I hope she's kept enough in the tank, though, for the dead.
Whoa! Look at, talk about putting the world on notice. Bobbie Butters with the performance of her life here at the IPF World Championships. If people came in talking about Maria T and Megan Scanlon, they're going to add Butters to that conversation.
Well, she's up there in the mix now, isn't she?
100%. 5-kilo jump, 5 more kilos towards her total.
Yeah, she's going to require a few things to go her way to try and move up there and push for that silver. But it's powerlifting and anything can happen. That's a tough one. She's going to grind it though, but just a little bit too tough. She was almost there. She almost pushed that through.
I love the shrug her shoulders. Oh, well,
Yeah, not today.
onto the deads. And that's exactly what you got to do. You got to leave it on the platform. Can't take it with you.
All right, well, we've got a world record, 115 and a half.
And for Megan Scanlon, what else is new? But this is another chip and more kilos towards her total. If she thinks in the deadlifts she can't go toe-to-toe with Maria, this is where she's going to build a bit of a
This
base.
is where she's going to add in the extra kilos, 115 and a half. She's lifted above this before at 117.5. So it's certainly not out of reach. $115.5 for a world record.
It would be her second of the day, and we're already only in the bench press.
The lift off doesn't look heavy. And she's going to grind it out. She gets it to the top.
It was uneven, but I don't think I saw it down up.
And we did. It's on the board. She gets the 115.5. It takes the world record. And it was an important couple of kilos there, that one. Very, very important. Well, don't go too far away. We are going to be back momentarily. We've got 10 minutes rest on the clock. Let these girls warm up. And boy, is it going to come down to the wire on the deadlifts.
Look, I just can't call it. And when you look at the projecteds, Maria T is slightly behind on the subtotal, but she has got a big deadlift.
But look, you know, that amount of kilos is absolutely nothing when it comes to the deadlift.
That's from one dead to the other, and it could already be bridged.
Well, don't go away. We'll be back in just under 10 minutes. Welcome back to Helsingborg, Sweden, where the action keeps heating up. We're just about to get underway with the deadlifts. And I'll tell you, if you look at those predicted totals, there is just 10 kilos, well, 11 kilos to be precise. That extra kilo might just come into play at the end of this. It's going to be a tough call.
It is, and obviously Maria T opening 7.5 kilo above Megan Scanlon. You can see how the gap can be bridged in this deadlift event. So hitting these attempts is going to be very important, and cannot count out. There's a battle between Bobbie Butters for bronze.
Yeah.
Filimonova staying tight.
Look, I mean, if you look at 3, 4, and 5, and 6, I mean, you got 412, 412, 412 for 5, 6, and 7, and you know, Bobbie Butters there just in front of 435. You've got 425 in fourth position. I mean, anyone's got an opportunity to move up the rankings here. You're going to see those 4, 5, 6, and 7 shift around a little bit.
If the North Americans had a lot of hype coming into this, and they did, this has also become a bit of a coming out party for Bobbie Butters. I had heard some murmurs from the British squad around the world saying, I know the hype around Marie T, and
well,
it's warranted.
The Brits were talking about Bobbie Butters, and she hasn't disappointed. She has brought all sorts of intensity to the platform, and I think we're all looking forward to seeing what sort of intensity she brings to the deadlift platform, because this is where it happens. The deadlift platform, this is where you bring everything you've got. You've got 3 lifts left in the bag. You get your opener on, and then you just start burning the fuel as much as you can, using everything you've got left to bring it on. And we're about 12 seconds away from getting underway here.
If I could make one note, how historic is this 57 kilo class? Well, with their very first deadlift, Megan Scanlon is already going to break the total world record.
There it is, another world record on the board. But right now, we're getting underway. Liatseg from Mongolia with 115. And wearing the Alico singlet. Those are Alico singlets, obviously IPF approved, but they are absolutely fantastic looking singlets. They really, everything that Alico make, it's like they've got the Midas touch.
Well, they put a lot into it, and there's no question. If you ever took a tour on the Alico factory, the type of research and development they put into their products.
Yeah, and if you want to take a tour on the Alico factory, get on the Alico website. They're running another tour on the 13th. I think they're running another tour tomorrow. So get on there, book yourself a tour of the Alico factory. It would be quite an experience. Irene Stabile from Spain looking for 130.
As soon as these ladies hit their opener, your total is secure, and you can no longer bomb out of the tournament. And then
that's when the game starts.
It really gets interesting.
It's your invitation to the party.
Yep.
Put yourself on the list. It goes on the board. Avita Talahatu from the Netherlands now, 132.5. She really looks like she's enjoying this competition too.
You know, I'd mentioned Megan Scanlon with her first deadlift would break the total world record. Maria T with her first deadlift would only be 2 kilo away as well. I mean, this is...
Yep, so we'll see a couple of grabs at the total world record.
It's just probably the best 57 kilo class we've ever seen. And for them to all converge at the same time and battle it out.
Brings it all together.
Yeah,
Jessica de Sousa, Belgium, 135. And gets that one on the board. Gotcha. Babis from Slovenia. 137.5. Well under her personal best.
And in terms of attempt selection, I think I like, because nothing taxes the nervous system quite like the deadlift. Stay light on your opener. You could cover a lot of ground in the deadlift jumping up. We had previously spoken about it, what 10 kilos can do to you on bench press for a jump. Not the case with the deadlift.
Yeah, it's a bit different with deadlift. You've got room to move. You've got to make sure you don't open so high that you don't have that room to move. I mean, it's all well and good opening on a big deadlift, but if you've only got another 10 kilos in it, then
yeah, it's a grinder.
You might as well have not bothered.
Heavily taxing your nervous system when you do that.
Loriana Acosta from Costa Rica, 137 and a half. And a little bit of a stagger through the middle there, but gets it on the board.
Six up, six down, all green. Hoping to keep that trend here. It will be interesting to see if the American team decides to drop the opener of Megan Scanlon or maintain the course. They did that with the bench press and it paid dividends.
Well, Hanna Kokkonen gets that one on the board. Puts it in the bank, locks it away. She's got her invitation to the party now. For Edie Saavedra from Mexico, 145.
It's quite the trip from Mexico. $20 kilos below her personal best. A lot of room there.
Yeah, that's a good opening lift. Plenty of room to move. Laura Savalainen from Sweden, 160.
I think she might have got bumped off the podium for the bench press. But still put on quite the show for the home
she
crowd.
certainly gave it an absolute crack. She put herself in a good position. Yeah, so she would have just missed out on the podium finish in the bench. Yeah, only by a couple of kilos and only by body weight, I think.
It's tough because obviously when she's in the first flight, it's not the toe-to-toe battle where she knows what she needs to pull her, to bench onto the podium. But
well, she gets that one on the board at 160. Chloe Jade Macleod from Ireland now, 165. The SBD national singlet there.
yeah, SBD, I'm not sure with every nation, but has sponsored quite a few. And you make the open team, here's the full kit.
Yeah, they've certainly put a lot of work into those, and they'll be releasing their summer range pretty soon.
It's always nice when the company gives back to the lifters that work hard to get this far. Nicely done.
Gets that one on the board. Liatseg from Mongolia, 125 for her second.
So we're in the second round, and all the lifters hit their openers. No drama.
That's what we want to see. Lots of green on the board.
They could breathe a sigh of relief. Now she has hit 140 previously, but I think we've seen in the squat and the bench press event, staying a little below personal best, trying to just hit the lifts.
Yeah.
What's there today.
I mean, she's just really come here to put a total on the board. The World Championships, do a thing, trying to get 9 from 9, and that one just didn't want to shift it.
She can't go again.
That's a no lift.
Yeah, unless that was just her
No.
prep, but she didn't do it the first time, so
Well,
I don't think so.
And you know, if you're doing it in your prep, the bar can't leave the ground.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, that's true too. Yeah, if you're pulling slack out of the bar, you can't pull it off the ground.
can't leave the ground. That's a shame. And, you know, that was just a little bit of inexperience as well.
Yeah.
Avita Talahatu from the Netherlands, 137.5. And just didn't want to move. She has a bit of a laugh at that one.
Somebody has turned on the magnet.
She's having so much fun out there that the bar didn't move, and she had a bit of a chuckle to herself.
The bar looks stapled to the ground for the second attempt, so let's see.
Well, Irene Stabile from Spain. Let's see if you can unlock those staples.
New personal best by 10 kilo. There we go.
And that was a good lift, that one. Let's see what the referees say. It is, it's on the board. Gotcha, Vabis from Slovenia. 142.5.
5 kilo jump. Previously in competition, she's hit 160.
Yeah, so she's got room to move. And she's got a personal best for a total at 367.5. And she'll go pretty close to nudging that today. Ah, that was a great effort there. That's so synonymous with the sumo lift. Just keep pulling. It'll break the floor. Once it does, you've got it.
Patience off the floor. Stay in form. It'll come.
Jessica de Sousa from Belgium. Looking for 142.5.
Two and a half kilo below her personal best.
And you can see she's starting to really fatigue down a little bit. That looked like a tough lift, and you can sort of see the relief on her face when she got it.
It's getting to the point where, yeah, you can see the end coming, and the problem with the deadlift, you add 2.5 kilo, it's gonna feel almost the same. It's a heck of an ask in effort for 2.5 kilo.
Yeah, it's a lot to give. Mariana Acosta from Costa Rica, 145.
2.5 kilo below her personal best.
And gets it to the top. She has that little stagger in the middle of her lift. She's excited. She's pretty excited. Have a look at the replay. She has a little bit of a stagger in the middle of the lift. She did it on her opener as well. Right there.
Yeah, she lost her shoulders at the beginning.
She does it on her first as well. When it gets heavy, is that going to cause some problems? Maybe even start to get a bit of an up-down movement there.
She lost her shoulders at the beginning, had to fight to lock them out at the end, and it's going to be the trend. And like you said, under the max load, is it going to be possible?
Hanna Kokkonen from Finland, 152.5. Moved well off floor. The lockout was tough, but she got the job done.
And these ladies are pushing the limits in the second. And now you see why failure rates are so high in third dead.
This is where technique becomes so important. You're fatigued. You're running out of fuel. The ATPs are low. They're struggling to regenerate. That explosive power is starting to disappear. Technique, 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 and that's what's going to carry you through.
James, those lats back. I like her technique.
Yeah, good technique there.
Very well done.
Yeah, well done. We'll see if we can have a look at the replay on this one.
Yeah, what I like.
Look, she has good technique there.
Jams the lats back, pulls the slack of the bars.
Yeah, lats are in, and you can see. I mean, she's strong. She's got good technique, but as that weight comes up, you can see that bar just fighting to pull her back over.
Yeah.
Laura Savalainen from Sweden, 170.
And if you see these ladies moving the bar around, baby powder is placed on the legs, so the bar just runs smoothly with no friction and doesn't slow it down any. And you don't want any baby powder beneath your feet.
Yeah, particularly in a sumo. I mean, in a conventional deadlift, it's not really going to bother you too much. But in a sumo, the way you're pushing, yeah, a little bit of baby powder on the floor could really mess you up a little bit. Chloe Jade Macleod, 175 from Ireland.
$10-kilo jump, 2.5 kilo below her personal best. And judging by how this moves, we could see a personal best loaded for her final pull.
Now, it'll be interesting for these athletes. It's a new design on their Alico platform now, using high compound rubber as a shock absorber underneath now. So it's actually a different feeling underfoot. She gets that to the top, 175. It's on the board, nicely done.
Yep, it was a fight to lock it out, but she was good for it. And I think if she keeps ramping up the intensity, 5 kilos likely there, but
Yeah,
anything more than that.
I think the 5 kilos there. It's your last lift. So Bayatseg from Mongolia, 125. Missed it on her second, and it was really just a bit of a inexperienced error. She gave it a bit of a pull and it moved off the floor, and that counts as the start of a lift.
Yeah, let's see if that was a legitimate attempt and she thought she was going to take 2 runs at it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just doesn't want to move today.
She's looking at it like, is that loaded properly?
Yeah, she has a bit of a look on the way past. That felt like 225. You guys did that right?
Some days that's the way it goes. But she did buy herself that opener. Her total is guaranteed, and that's why you open low.
The opener has to go on the board. And Evita Talahatu from Netherlands is having a good laugh with the coaches in the background there.
Keeping it looking.
I'm not sure. Piotr might be telling one of his stories.
See, right before I come out, I'm getting all types of fired up, and I'm in a whole nother mind state. But that's powerlifting. There's a million ways to approach it.
Everyone has their different ways of doing it, and she is having the time of her life at this competition. So she missed this on a second, had a bit of a chuckle to herself when it didn't move. And
right on cue is what we're saying, find the spot you want.
Yeah, I mean, you're pushing very hard.
Something's going to give.
Yeah, one of her technique things might be that she's actually pushing a little bit too hard outward. But she'll develop that as time goes on. She's only been competing for 3 years. So Irene Stabile from Spain looking for 142.5.
It's a 5-kilo jump and well beyond anything she's ever pulled before.
Well, a second looked good.
It's an appropriate jump. Oh, nicely done.
And gets it to the top. Let's have a little squeal at the top. And she's pretty happy with that finish.
Almost in relief. Yeah, there was a sticking point right before lockout. Gets the shoulders back, knees locked. No questions there.
Gotcha. Bobbie from Slovenia. 145.
Now we were thinking 2.5 more kilo. It's going to feel very similar to the second attempt, but
yeah.
It's probably
it's going to slow your body down a lot more than you expect.
Oh, wow.
Oh, she has great technique.
I think that was better in the second attempt.
Yeah, she has really good technique. Hopefully we can see this in the replay. She just seems to, you can see the pull, and she times the knees and the back perfectly.
Yeah.
See a lot of athletes get a bit out of shape, their knees straighten, and then all of a sudden you're trying to pull everything with just your back.
Especially the sumo design is not for a lower back pull like that.
You need to get your timing right. Jessica de Sousa from Belgium looking for 147.5 to finish on. Be a nice little personal best for her.
Hip pump to break the inertia off the ground. The hips are high, but she is all types of strong.
She's
never
giving it everything
stopping.
she's got.
Wow!
And
Heart of a lion on
there
this
goes a bit
one.
of a dip there. Just didn't quite happen. Boy, did she give that a fight, though. That is a gold medal fight right there. Wow, what a fight. Loriana Acosta from Costa Rica. 150 to finish on. It'll be a nice personal best if she can get it.
$5-kilo jump, 2.5-kilo personal best. Looking to go 3 for 3 in the IPF World Championships.
Let's go low. All the way. Stay with it. Finish it all the way through.
Really, her and her coach both talking themselves through it here.
Yep, stay with it, hips all the way through. There you go.
There it is.
Yeah, that actually looked better in that midsection than her other two lifts there.
And you know what?
So she gets a red light there from the center referee for a bit of up-down movement that he thinks he might have seen.
Oftentimes, it's when you ramp up the intensity that even if the weight gets heavier and the second look tough, you can equal the challenge in the third and still be adding weight onto the bar.
Hanna Kokkonen from Finland, 160.
$7.5-kilo jump, 7.5-kilo personal best if she can get it.
Be a nice way to finish. Nothing quite like getting a personal best at a world championship. I mean, you're not going to get a personal best at every competition, but if you get one at the world championships, it's a pretty special moment.
You know, when you lay your head on the pillow at night, that's how you envision it.
And she is going to give it everything, but it's just not going to happen. And she gave it a big, big effort. For Edie Saavedra from Mexico, looking for a 165. So this will equal her personal best.
10-kilo jump, but it is the deadlifts.
I'll tell you what, it's going to give her a big, big personal best in a total. She has a personal best total of 377.5. This will give her 392.5.
Oh.
She's going to put in the fight. She's going to get a...
She is so close. Can she get like a back?
She gets the lockout.
I think it looks good from our angle.
I think from here it looks good. It is. The referees like it.
Titanic effort to go 3 for 3, and she earns
what
it.
What a way to finish. She gets a massive personal best total, like 20, almost 20 kilos on a total.
And that effort would not have been possible had she lifted her second attempt closer to that final weight. 10-kilo jump had enough in the reserves for one big battle.
Laura Semolina from Sweden now, 175. This will be a personal best for her as well.
That's Musa in there jamming away to...
The crowd is going crazy. They are right behind her. There's yelling, there's whistling, there's shouting, there's clapping. She's using it, she's drawing on it, but it's just a little too much today.
Yeah, stuck
You know,
at the knees.
and I love the smile on her face there. She's put in a big effort today. Not disappointed with her performance. Chloe Jade Macleod now 182.5. This will be a big personal best for her as well.
Yeah, both in the final pull as well as the total if she can hit it. Wow, Oh, the Irish crowd are
And this will give her a nice little personal best on her total as well.
there doesn't have to be a lot of Irish in the crowd to make themselves known. And I think that's also the Brazilians rallying behind her.
Yeah, I mean, that's the great thing about powerlifting, isn't it? Everyone is just rallying for everyone.
Well, I know the Brazilians appreciate a good fight, and I believe Jade's about to bring it.
And he pops it up fast. A bit too fast, I think. Yeah, she popped those knees up way too fast there, and then she was left almost doing a sumo conventional at the top.
Just couldn't get those shoulders back.
She pops them fast, and then she's sort of left in that position where it's almost a conventional pull in a sumo stance. But she gave it a huge effort. Ellie Steele, Great Britain, 147.5. This will be her first lift. We're rolling to the second group now. They're looking for 147.5. The guy's just giving the platform a quick clean and the bar a quick clean for the second group.
Yeah, taking away, as we had said, that baby powder. It's great for the legs because it makes the bar slip up. Terrible for the grip because it makes the bar slip out.
Yeah, so you want to be, I mean, they're just trying to be a little bit more careful with it. You know, the carpeted tops of those Alico platforms are great. You know, they falls to the bottom of the pile, which is good, so it doesn't cause any problems. Ellie Steele, Great Britain, 147.5.
Wow.
And gets at the top as a quick look at the head referee. It says, thank you very much.
Very efficient sumo pull right there.
Vanessa Alvarez, yeah, just set it up just right, didn't she?
Body completely
Timing's
upright.
good, pops it all together. 157.5. Vanessa Alvarez from Brazil. Well, it was a slow opening lift. It looked hard.
And this is, I know exactly what you mean, and this is where you're not sure if some lifters, all three deads look hard, but you can keep increasing the weight and they don't fail. Or is it treading closer than she would like to the limit?
Yeah, well, we'll find out in a few minutes' time. Mariana McPeak from Ireland.
Nicely done as well.
Very smooth all the way through. And head coach Jay in the corner there just trying to make sure his other coach can lip read his weight selection. Bobbie Butters, 162.5.
And Bobbie approaches the openers, pretty calm, cool, collected, and by the second attempts, it's a whole nother Bobbie Butters.
In the second attempt, she's bringing all sorts of fire.
But you can only expend so much energy and intensity. Well.
Very nicely done.
Picture perfect opener for Bobbie Butters.
Yeah, good opening lift. Kenya Monserrate from Ecuador, 167.5.
See Bobbie lock her lats back and straight up, straight down. Beautifully done.
167.5, 20 kilos below a personal best. Just taking your time with this one, getting your feet in the right position. And gets it to the top with really slow off the floor. I mean, it's not unusual for a sumo lift to be really slow off the floor.
It was also a little slow
But
at the
it
top,
just didn't look convincing, did it?
Nope. I would tread softly for the second attempts.
Therese Young, 167.5.
Young has had no issues with their previous openers, and I'm expecting this to be no different.
Yeah, they've managed quite well throughout the day. They haven't put anything too much on for an opener.
Trend continues.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that's what you want your opener to look like.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't too hard. The timing wasn't perfect, but the weight was okay, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Megan Scanlon for a world total record on her opening lift. This will give her a 463.5. 462 was a previous total record.
We have never seen an athlete like Megan Scanlon come into the 57-kilo class. She does Olympic weightlifting, she runs marathons, triathlons, you name it, she's done it. And she's about to add to her resume with her opening deadlift. A-level athlete.
Well, she's about to take the total world record set by Jennifer Milliken.
Wow.
And she handles that opener very, very well.
Let me also say, Jennifer Milliken, setting these world records, was the best lifter award winner when she did it. And then Megan Scanlon walks in and hits it in an opener.
It's a big, big ask.
Yep.
Right now, Ina Filimonova from Russia, 172.5. And just gave us all a lesson on how to deadlift. It'd be interesting to keep an eye on what Filimonova puts in for her next couple of lifts.
The fact that she pulls after Bobbie Butters, if she wants to threaten, there's an opportunity there because she has the benefit of seeing how much do I need.
There's a few little other things for her there. The world M1 total record is 444. And right now, Maria T. Very, very important opening lift.
She's not out of danger from Bobbie Butters, and she's also close enough to threaten Scanlon. One eye ahead and one eye behind
That's
you.
it. You've got to watch both ways. You need eyes in the back of your head in this sport. So we come around to the start for Edie Stabile from Great Britain, looking for 160. Well, talk about needing eyes in the back of your head. Bobbie Butters is doing her thing. Filimonova is creeping up very, very closely behind her there.
Yeah, she's nice pull there, by the way.
Great second lift there from Edie Stabile.
You could see the strategizing by the teams here.
All of a sudden, that gap is closing, isn't it?
They're all in position. If I hit my second, you miss yours, I move ahead of you. So it's forcing the lifters a rank ahead to have to hit. You miss once, you fall behind, and we've already seen lifters miss. They're pushing each other.
It's right there. It's anyone's game right now. Vanessa Alvarez, 162.5.
pull.
Verona McPeak, Island, 167.5. Well under her personal best, so plenty of room to move.
And Maria T also has loaded her second attempt. If Scanlon misses, Maria hits, she moves into the first place.
Maria T looking for a massive 190.
It's a 10-kilo jump. Nice pull there. Now with that strategizing and Maria T taking a 10-kilo jump, if Maria chasing Scanlon, and you've addressed this before, misses and it's a big ask, the door swings open for Bobbie Butters.
Yeah, I mean, if she misses that lift, all of a sudden Bobbie Butters is just 10 kilos behind.
We're having a different
with a lift
conversation,
to
aren't
pull.
we? Big risk, big reward.
Kenya Montserrat from Ecuador, 172.5. You know what? That looked better than her opening lift.
Speaking of Bobbie Butters.
And here comes Bobbie Butters now, 172.5. Let's see the intensity change now.
A little bit, just a stitch. This is treading very close to her previous personal best, but as we've seen already, her previous personal bests are long behind her now. $172.5. Oh, whoa.
And there is still some room in the tank.
That moved almost like an opener could.
That was a pretty good second lift right there.
And if Maria T is not looking behind her,
You know, she needs to start looking because she's right there chasing her down. Theresa Young, 177.5. Gets it there. A little bit tough in the lockout, but she gets it there.
5 more kilo onto her total.
Megan Scanlon, 177.5 to add a bit more to that world total record.
She really wants to send a message both to Maria T and the Canadian coaching staff. Stop looking at the gold, start looking behind you to defend the silver. This is out of reach. Easier said than done.
Oh, it's tough. If she's going to put in the drive, she gets it there.
It looks good for me, but it was worked. Nicely done.
It's on the board.
I'm expecting.
There's not much room to move, though.
No, I don't think so. I don't know if she needs a heck of a lot more. That might have been the message sent to the Canadians. Start defending your silver. We'll have to see.
Right now, Ina Filimonova looking at 185. The M1 record, 187.5. And just couldn't hold that grip at the top there. It moved well. And you can see a motion to a coach there that she just wasn't chalked up enough. Something wasn't right.
That actually helps open the door for Bobbie Butters to focus on the silver more
that
and less
just
on.
made it a little bit easier.
It does.
Maria T now, 190.
This is a very important lift for her to hit. Not only does she stay close to Scanlon, but it helps keep a spread on Butters, who is charging towards her right now.
Oh, when she misses this lift, Bobbie Butters is right there.
Door swings wide open.
And Bobbie has some energy in the tank.
Especially if Butters doesn't feel threatened with her bronze. She has nothing to lose to pull for silver.
And just couldn't hang on to it there.
Now we have a different story
All
unfolding.
unwinding now, isn't it?
Talk
Look
about
at the replay, and yeah, she just lost the grip on both hands by the look of it.
It's
Well, did the door just swing open?
it definitely has. I'd expect Butters keeping an eye on anyone creeping up on her bronze. If she feels unthreatened, that silver's looking tempting, isn't it?
You'd have to think, if she's not threatened, has she got enough in the tank to pull for it?
Her second attempt looked pretty smooth.
Yeah, Vanessa Alvarez, 167.5. And just a bit hard, and you're going to see quite a few tough lifts now because they are pushing themselves for those rankings. So this one here from Edie Stabile will move her from 8th to 7th overall, temporarily. So Edie Stabile looking for 170, just shy of her personal best. Of 170 kilograms. Oh, that was tough. She locked those knees very early. She gets it on the board though.
I'm keeping one eye on the action, one eye on the scorecard, because Bobbie Butters has a Canadian in front of her in silver, but a Canadian right behind her in fourth. And if she doesn't keep an eye behind her as well, she can get threatened for her bronze.
That's it. Well, Brianna McPeak from Ireland, 170. Yeah, it's just a little too heavy. She's happy with that though. She's got a smile on her face and she's had a great day.
So Bobbie Butters goes first with two contenders nipping on her heels, possibly threatening for her bronze.
Yes.
Butters opting not to challenge Maria T for her silver and defend the bronze instead.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at the totals up there, I think it's the right choice. I mean, if she pushes a little bit too far, misses, all of a sudden you've got three lifters that go, oh, you know what? I might just be able to pull that.
You might as well pull to get on the podium if it's there.
Really talking herself up on this one. Her last one moved really well.
If Butters hopes to get on the platform, get on the podium, to stay alive, she needs this pull.
And she gets it there. That's a big, big lift. It's on the board.
3 white lights. She's done her job.
Well, she's done her part.
Is it enough? We're about to find out.
Let's see if anyone makes any changes. So she has a 150 total. Right now, Kenya Montserrat from Ecuador.
It looks like the other contenders have backed off and said, look at Bobbie Butters, that's your bronze.
Yeah, I can't see any movement from the coaches. Usually we see a couple of coaches come out by now and make some changes. But
Had she missed.
But I think they've looked at it and thought, you know what? It'd be great to pull for the bronze, but the amount you've got to add is probably a little bit too much. Let's try and get a total on the board.
They needed Bobbie Butters to miss that, and she didn't.
And She gets it and she locks it. And she gets the white lights for her effort. Teresa, so we got Megan Scanlon, have we? Yeah, Megan Scanlon for a world total record again. Looking to pull 180.
Just rewriting the history books.
And this will give her a 473 and a half for a total world record.
We've never seen a 57 kilo lifter as dominant and strong as Megan Scanlon.
And that one was just a little bit too big of an ask.
It's only a 2.5 kilo jump, but she's already expended so much.
Teresa Young, 182 and a half. Team Canada going to the table there.
It's a 5 kilo jump, a personal best, both in total and in this final pull. And finishing in the top 5, if Team Canada has number 2 and number 5, that's a lot of points for Team Canada in the bigger picture. Especially in a class this competitive.
Yeah, Maria Tan T is safe. Is she changing? She is. I thought she would.
Why not?
A silver medal is safe.
It would be epic. But we've seen epic previously.
We've seen epic plenty of times in this sport. Right now, Teresa Young.
Good, keep it close. Squeeze, 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 squeeze.
And she gets it to the top.
It's a
I
fight.
think she's got it.
I think she's got it too.
Coach Justin doing the happy dance there.
Nice
I didn't know he could jump like that. Ina Filimonova now, 185. Lost a grip on the second. Disappointing because I had a feeling she was going for the World Masters record, which is 187 and a half. But right now, she wants to put this 185 on the board. She's been having an absolutely outstanding day. This will move her up temporarily into the gold medal position on the deadlift. Wow, what a turnaround. That'll give her currently, so she's now gold medal in the deadlift with one lift to come. And to turn around from losing grip, we talk about how hard that is all the time.
This is for all the marbles. I personally love when a lifter says, my silver is not threatened, load it up.
So this will give her the gold medal overall, the gold medal in the deadlift, and the total world record. She'll take it all the way from Scanlon in this one lift.
It would be the most epic come from
Scanlon
behind
will
win.
be sitting at the back, chewing her nails, thinking, what's going to happen? She's waiting. It's a big, big ask, though.
Oh my gosh! Oh, wow! Oh, my God! She might have it!
She's getting there.
Holy moly! Do you believe it?
She has locked it.
Oh, whoa!
She just takes the gold medal out from Scanlon.
Canada's
the
first
world record.
First ever open world champion for a Canadian woman, and does it in epic fashion.
What a way to finish.
Wow.
It doesn't get any better than that. We said it was going to be a battle. We said if Scanlon wanted this gold medal, she was going to have to give everything. We said T would take the battle to her. She took the battle to her. It came right down to that very, very last moment and that last pull, and it was an epic pull. And I'll tell you, I think there's going to be some controversy because Team US have gone to the jury panel. I'm not sure what for. I looked at the replay. Didn't see anything from where we're sitting, but we have a very different angle as well. You know what? This day just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it?
I can't tell you, 190 kilo in the second attempt, failed. Megan Scanlon piecing together the biggest performance we'd ever seen in the 57 kilo class for Maria T to miss 190 on strength, come back and say, load the bar for 197.5 if my silver's not threatened, and hit that to become Canada's first ever world champion in the women's class.
And the adrenaline pulls it off. It worked on the day. Don't go anywhere. And the medal ceremony coming up in a couple of minutes. And, of course, there is just so much more action to come here today in Helsingborg, Sweden. We'll see you all again very, very soon.